Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about EBS volume types. So that we must have seen at the time of volume creation in my previous video, but I will just show one more time. So when we create a volume, we first thing is we need to select the volume type. So for example, GB3, GP2, IO1, IO2, SC1, ST1, all these are types. Okay, so first thing to understand is how many types are there. So GP3, GP2, IO1, IO2, SC1, SC1, ST1, total 6 types. And then there is something called magnetic standard, which is a previous generation one. So ideally we should consider 6. Okay, so let's understand. General purpose SST. Okay, GP2 or GP3. This is the default volume type for a broad range of workloads that need a balance between price and performance. That is the basically suggested one. If your requirement is not specific, then you should always go with general purpose SSD. Second is provisioned IOPS SSD IO2. This volume type provides high performance storage for IO intensive applications. So if your application is going to have IO intensive workload, then you should select the IO2 version. That is the provision one. Then within provision IOPS SSD, we have IO1 also. This is the latest one. IO2, this is the previous one. So this is a previous generation of high performance SSD volumes offering high IOPS similar to IO2 but with slightly different performance characteristics, of course, because this is the upgraded one, right? The new latest one. Of course it must be having better technology around it. Okay, so yeah, next one is throughput optimized HDD, that is hard disk drive ST1. This volume type is optimized for high throughput. So if we need high throughput in our application workload, then we should go for it. And of course it is at a lower cost. We all know, right? We all from computer science background, hard disk drive is cheaper than the SSD. Then cold HDD, which is SC1 type. This is the lowest cost HDD volume type. Again, this is also hard disk drive designed for infrequently accessed data. Magnetic standard, like I said, it's a previous generation one. Normally it's not used now, but in legacy volume type, maybe in legacy application it is still being used, but these one we used, the 6 one. Why I have colored? Because all the we can say orange or amber one, we can see they are on SSD. The blue one are on HDD. These are the two correct categorization we can say on top of like we have these block storage. I mean, even in laptops, right, we have SSD and HDD drives. The similar concept. Now this SSD solid state drive volume, and I have taken this image from AWS resource documentation, but this is a good documentation because what I'm going to do, we have two categories. So SSD solid state drive volumes and HDD hard disk drive volumes, and this table will give a good description, good differences between all the parameters we have. That what is the difference between if we select out of those 6 options we have. So out of 6, 4 are for SSD and 2 are for HDD. We'll see what is the difference between various parameters. Okay. So for example, first we will discuss the general purpose, and in that one we have two options, GP3 and GP2, and provisioned IOPS we have two options, IO2 and IO1. Okay, durability as per documentation it's like 99.8%, etc. We can read it. So it's good. If we go for the examination, AWS associate exam, etc., it's a good that we have a maybe little bit idea about how much durable these options are. Okay, use cases. GP3 and GP2, which is general purpose SSD, like I said, if is a transactional workload, virtual desktop, medium sized single instance database, low latency interactive application, boot volumes, etc., development test environment are the use cases for general purpose SSD. Provisioned IOPS, we should consider for workload that requires sub-millisecond less latency, because I mean this is better option, right? So sub-millisecond latency, sustained IOPS performance, more than 64,000 IOPS or 1,000 maybe throughput, and IO1, which is the previous generation one, previous version of IO provisioned IOPS SSD volume, workload that requires sustained IOPS. Basically same concept, it's just it's new, it is old technology. Volume size is given, we can see that these are the options given. Max IOPS also is given, so this one is giving 16,000 maximum, and here we are getting 256,000, so we are getting 64,000. Max throughput also here is 1,000, it's 4,000. Okay, the other option, the HDD one, where we have two options volume type available, the ST1 and SC1, right? The cold HDD and the throughput optimized. We can see what is the difference here. Use cases for this will be the big data warehouse, log processing, etc., because it's of course throughput optimized, and the hard disk drive cost is lower than the HDD one, so that's why it is suitable for big data warehousing and log processing. And cold HDD throughput oriented, because it is providing more throughput, that's why throughput oriented storage for data that is infrequently accessed, scenario where the lowest storage cost is important, etc. Boot volume is not supported for these drives, and multi-attach option that we are going to see in the next video, that is also not supported. Whereas if we go back here, in the STD1, in the STD1 the boot volume is supported for both options, provision as well as general purpose, right? And the multi-attach option is also supported in the provisioned IOPS. It is not supported in the general purpose. Okay, the last one is which is the previous generation one, which is a magnetic one. We can just go through with this diagram, I mean in this for this table, but I think even in the exam, if we go for the associate exam, the question might not come, but it's good to have knowledge about it. Boot volume is supported, this is the throughput, this is the IOPS per volume, and the use cases workloads where data is infrequently accessed. So that's it in this video. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have some hands-on activity in the next video.